Most of us believe that adding more supplements after cancer automatically keeps us safe. Yet the quiet gap on that busy shelf may be the very reason you still feel weak by mid-morning. I learned this beside real patients, and I learned it in my own body. Here is the risk that hides in plain sight. A mismatched capsule can blunt your therapy, drain your savings, and leave low-grade inflammation smoldering when you most need recovery. There is a steadier path, and it begins now. Before another pill goes down, we will do a gentle supplement audit that trades fear for clarity and puts your energy back on a track you can trust. I rely on what careful clinical guidance has emphasized for years, that some botanicals and high antioxidant doses can interact with treatment, while well-chosen basics such as vitamin D and magnesium can support immune function, sleep, and muscle when they are used with supervision and verified by simple testing. This is not about taking more. It is about choosing a small handful that serve a purpose you can name. Write down every prescription and every supplement you take. Then mark any item that does not have a clear job in your plan. Bring that list to your oncology team or your primary care clinician and ask about interactions in plain language. If you request only one lab, ask for a vitamin D level so dosing can be guided rather than guessed. If your meals fall short on protein, replace scattered collagen with a complete protein that truly rebuilds lean muscle after treatment. You do not need a perfect day to begin. You need one calm decision that respects the medicine already working for you. In a moment, I will introduce you to an American woman who let me review her routine step by step. What we kept, what we stopped, and the ordinary change that lifted her from drained to steady. Stay with me, because the solution is simpler than you have been told, and it is already within reach today. I have watched a quiet danger grow out of good intentions. After cancer, it feels natural to add more bottles because more sounds safer. Yet the wrong bundle can lean against your treatment and keep low-grade inflammation humming when you most need calm. There is a steadier move you can take tonight. Sit at your kitchen table, write down every prescription and every supplement, and for each one write the plain reason it earns a place. When a bottle has no clear job, that is your signal to ask your team about interactions and duplication. Supplements can be powerful allies when chosen on purpose. Vitamin D often supports immune balance when guided by a blood test, and magnesium can ease sleep and regularity when kidneys are healthy and the dose fits your body. The flip side is real. Stacking high antioxidant doses or complex botanicals on top of active therapy without supervision can invite interactions and drown out the benefits you hoped for. The strength of a simple audit is control, clarity, and savings. The trade-off is that it may retire a favorite product and it may ask for follow-up and patience. As a clinician and a survivor, I want you to feel safer, not busier. Begin with the list, bring it to your visit, and ask in plain language whether any item could blunt your therapy or simply copy what your meals already provide. This is how we turn a crowded shelf into a focused routine. Stay with me, because I am about to walk you through a real woman's review, what we kept, what we paused, and the ordinary change that helped her feel steady again. I can still see Diane sitting across from me, a determined woman who had followed every rule she was given, and yet felt older and weaker with each passing week. She took her prescriptions without fail. She lined up her supplements in neat rows across the counter, and still, she asked in a quiet voice why her body seemed to betray her effort. The paradox was painful to hear. The more she tried to care for herself, the more drained she became. Diane was not reckless. She was meticulous. She carried levothyroxine for her thyroid, medication for hot flashes, and an antidepressant to help her mood. She endured joint pain that cut into her sleep and lived under the shadow of high cholesterol that raised her risk further. Every pill had a purpose, yet when stacked together, they formed a picture that left her weaker instead of stronger. What gave this moment its strength was Diane's courage to say she was lost even while doing everything the system asked of her. What revealed the weakness was the toll her body paid for a plan that had never been seen as a whole. I leaned closer and told her we would not pile on more noise. We would slow down, review each item, and keep only what served her recovery while letting go of what quietly undermined it. That shift was the entry point into her supplement review, and it is the same shift you can begin at home. Look not at the next product being marketed to you, but at what is already in your cabinet. Often the path back to strength is not another new bottle, but the decision to clear away the one that never earned its place. Stay with me, because what happened when Diane made that choice will show you how a small change can restore energy in ways no advertisement ever mentions. When Diane placed her basket of supplements between us, it felt as if she had laid down a journal written in capsules and powders. Every bottle carried a promise, yet not all of them kept their word. The multivitamin was the first entry. It seemed safe, like a net to catch what her meals might miss, but when we looked closer, we saw that her daily nutrition already filled those spaces. Its strength was coverage, its weakness redundancy, so I asked her to finish the bottle and close that page. Vitamin D was different. It glowed like a steady lantern in the dark, backed by strong evidence that healthy levels lower the risk of recurrence. Its strength was undeniable, but the weakness was that without a simple blood test, the dose was only a guess. So we agreed to measure and adjust. Magnesium was tucked beside it. A gentle friend she trusted at bedtime. It eased her sleep and kept her regular, a strength worth keeping, yet the weakness was that excess could trouble her stomach or kidneys if left unchecked. The B complex had been offered for joint pain, but Diane noticed something more subtle, a lift in her daily energy. Its strength was in that quiet support, its weakness that it could never replace balanced meals, only walk beside them. Omega-3 and coenzyme Q10 stood as guardians of her heart, important in the shadow of high cholesterol. Their strength was cardiovascular protection, their weakness that they required patience and routine, not quick results. Melatonin appeared in the form of small gummies, a comfort that granted short-term rest. Its strength was temporary relief, its weakness that it masked rather than healed the roots of sleepless nights. The final chapter was a tin of mushroom coffee, a harmless indulgence that offered ritual more than remedy. As we spread the bottles in a line, Diane could see clearly which companions truly belonged in her recovery and which ones only crowded her counter. That clarity opened the door to the next stage. The missing supports her body was still quietly asking for, and those were the choices that would change everything. When we spread Diane's bottles across the table, the spaces between them spoke louder than the labels. In those empty places, her body was still calling for help. The first voice came from protein, not the incomplete fragments of collagen that flood the market, but a complete source able to rebuild the muscle stripped away by therapy. Its strength was in laying down the bricks of lean mass and restoring stamina. Its weakness that it asked for steady use until wholesome meals could take over the work. Standing beside it was creatine, perhaps the most carefully studied ally in sports and medicine. Its strength was a proven lift in strength and daily energy. Its weakness that old myths about kidney harm frightened many survivors away, even though research shows it's safe for those without prior disease. Fiber whispered next. The broom that sweeps the colon, lowering cholesterol and trimming cancer risk as intake rises. Its strength was measurable in numbers, its weakness that if added too quickly, it could stir discomfort and bloating. Then came antioxidants, the unseen shield against oxidative stress that drives disease forward. Their strength was protection beyond diet. Their weakness that blends vary, and quality matters more than colorful labels. For her heart, I placed red yeast rice on the table, a natural choice backed by years of research showing lower harmful cholesterol. Its strength was cardiovascular safety, its weakness that liver health should be monitored as with any active compound. At last we faced the weight of her joints, stiff and aching each morning. Vitamin B12 in sublingual form, tart cherry with its anti-inflammatory calm, glucosamine and chondroitin lending support to cartilage. Each of them carried strength in easing pain and moving the body freely again, each with the weakness that patience was required, because healing joints do not rush. As Diane took this in, she realized these were not exotic potions. They were ordinary supports that filled the silent gaps her body had been pointing to all along. That realization carried her toward the larger lesson, that health after cancer is not about gathering more. It is about choosing the right few that let the body rise again with clarity and strength. As Diane's plan settled into place, I was reminded of a lesson I have carried through decades of practice. Supplements are never miracles, and they are never useless. Their strength is in filling the quiet spaces that food and medicine sometimes leave behind, adding just enough support to steady the body. Their weakness is in being taken without purpose, turning into clutter that drains hope and dollars while offering little in return. You cannot cover a cracked foundation with fresh paint and expect the house to stand, just as you cannot bury a poor diet beneath bottles and expect true healing. What gives these tools power is a strategy that respects the whole picture: the prescriptions you rely on, the meals you prepare, the sleep you fight for, and the goals that keep you moving. The simplest rule is this: a handful of bottles chosen with intention is far stronger than a shelf crowded with promises. Even the smallest shifts, like lifting fiber a little closer to your goal or adjusting vitamin D into a healthy range, can ripple through your system in ways that lower risk and restore steady energy. This truth was not written only for Diane. It belongs to every survivor who has felt lost in the noise of advertisements and miracle claims. Tonight, you can take one calm step by opening your own cabinet and asking which bottles truly earn their place and which ones do not. That one question might become the first move toward the kind of energy that does not fade and the kind of health that lasts. As Diane walked away with her new plan in hand, the change was written on her face. She no longer felt buried under bottles. She felt lighter, clearer, and more in control. That same freedom is waiting for you. The supplements that matter are not rare or secret. They are the ordinary supports that fit your life and honor your body. The strength of this path is simple. You spend less, you waste less, and you heal more. The weakness is only the hesitation to let go of products that promised more than they ever delivered. Let me leave you with this. It is never too late to make a small change, and small changes add up until one day you realize your body has turned toward a steadier, stronger place. If you have ever stood in front of your own cabinet and wondered whether any of those bottles are truly helping, you are in good company. Share your story in the comments. Tell us which supplement lifted you or which one left you doubtful, because your words may light the way for someone else. And if you are curious to know which supplements are little more than wasted money, come with me into the next video. We will uncover them together, and we will keep walking side by side toward health that is steady, honest, and strong.